I know that I'm going to take his lots out in the first round.
So we're going to finish the fight.
We're going to finish the fight. And he was talking to the ref. He wasn't talking to Ilia. So I took it as Ilia was like, dude, I can't go on. And when you hear that from your athlete, you have to make that right choice. I'm like, do we take more damage or do we go on? So look at me.
Nothing left.
Okay, it's over. It's over. Stop it.
Yeah. It's the pressure fight. Oh, my head, he hurt him. I mean, Ilia's face is just destroyed.
No. We finished the fight.
That's the end of the fight, Mr. President.
And that'll do it. That's it.
I think he's honest with himself. Ilia and I, we share the same agent, and we were talking about him earlier today. And what I heard was that he's humble, that he is honest. He realized that he just didn't perform well.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're starting with an all-new UFC documentary that includes exclusive audio from Topuria's corner that hasn't been released before. We'll also break down Topuria's performance against Gaethje, take a look at his recovery process, and cover the latest updates on his anticipated return. Before we get into all of that, let's watch a collection of remarkable interview moments featuring Joe Rogan, along with several fighters and coaches, as they share behind-the-scenes insights and reveal unexpected details.
Do what I did in the sport.
So what do you think it will take Ilia to get back to fighting again after such a loss?
Ilia's he's gonna be in a good position. He has faith. He has a strong team. And that's a lot of what it takes. He has a work ethic. I think he's honest with himself. Ilia and I, we share the same agent, and we were talking about him earlier today. And what I heard was that he's humble, that he is honest. He realized that he just didn't perform well. And I think that's the number one step of getting back into the ring in a healthy way. It's the guys that make excuses. That's when it's hard to come back and win that rematch. Guys who just say, you know what, I could have did better. I could have done more. Honesty with yourself is the key to MMA. Knowing exactly who you are, what you've done, what you haven't done. You can't lie once you get in that cage. What's real will come to.
John Jones believes Ilia Topuria's biggest obstacle isn't his ability. It's how he responds when things don't go his way. In Jones' view, reaching championship level changes every part of a fighter's life. Success brings intense pressure, greater fame, constant attention, and higher expectations all at once. He says champions rarely fall apart because of what happens inside the octagon. More often, the challenges outside the cage become the real test. That's why having the right people around you and maintaining self-awareness matters just as much as talent. Jones emphasizes that the fighters who enjoy long careers are those who accept their mistakes, avoid making excuses, and make adjustments without delay. As for Topuria, he believes a successful return will depend on staying humble, rebuilding with patience, and refusing to let pride dictate the road back.
That brother did the right thing and stopped the fight. I didn't hear what he said until I understood the language where he was like, he said it a certain way. And the third time I heard it, I was like,
we're going to finish the fight.
We're going to finish the fight. And he was talking to the ref. He wasn't talking to Ilia. So I took it as Ilia was like, dude, I can't go on. And when you hear that from your athlete, you have to make that right choice. I'm like, do we take more damage or do we go on? So look at me.
Nothing left.
Okay, it's over. It's over. Stop it.
Yeah.
I'm always there to protect my athletes, and it's very nice to be able to work with people that have the same goals as me. My goals is I'm never going to be a champion. I'm a championship coach, but I'm not a champion. And being able to work with people that want to chase things like that, I get so much joy out of it. Seeing the concern in his brother's eye and the way his brother was pulling the hood off, like, bro, don't be embarrassed. You fought your ass off. Like, that is special. That is like, everybody's making fun of like the way he was putting a hood over his head. When you're down, you're down. And, you know, again, to be at the level that he is at took the most courage to get to that point. And what he's done to the guys prior to us. His brother was telling him, pull that off, dude. Like, don't be down, we lost. And when you lose a round doesn't mean you lose a fight. When you win, you know, when you lose a fight doesn't mean you.
As soon as the referee halted the contest, the decision made by Ilia's corner immediately sparked debate among fans. His brother wasn't acting as just another observer. He took responsibility for making the final call in a highly stressful moment. Even when a fighter insists they're ready to continue, it's the corner's job to judge the situation as it truly is. In that instant, the priority wasn't proving toughness. It was preventing unnecessary harm. Later, the coach explained that the most difficult part of the job isn't always encouraging a fighter to keep going. It's knowing when to stop them. He recognized the signs of hesitation, fatigue, and the growing risk of letting the fight continue. His decision wasn't about giving up. It was about protecting the athlete. At the highest level of the sport, a fighter's safety must always come before pride.
Going into this fight, Justin, that was so unique was I've already lost. I've already put myself in the worst scenario. Fear is a great thing, and understanding that the worst case scenario, when you put yourself in that scenario, and what that does is that causes you not to hesitate, and you have such a unique mindset to that. Where did that come from? Where did your mindset come from?
Definitely all came from wrestling. You know, I wrestled so many matches, and, you know, where I was mentally was a big factor and a big variable when it came to my ability to compete. So just understanding that I, you know, had control, and really just keeping it so simple, keeping it as simple as possible, not confusing things, not overinflating things, and just.
Justin Gaethje approaches competition with a mindset that accepts the possibility of losing long before the fight begins. That perspective was developed through his years in wrestling, where performing under controlled chaos helped shape the way he thinks. Countless hours of competition taught him that the greatest battle is fought in the mind. Instead of allowing fear to hold him back, he uses it as a source of focus and motivation. When emotions are set aside, his reactions become automatic, driven by instinct rather than hesitation. In those moments, there's no second guessing or delay, only decisive action. That mental approach is what gives him a unique advantage inside the cage.
No te vuelvas loco cuando cruces, ¿vale? Eres mucho mejor que él.
Topuria landing a remarkable 72% of his significant strikes.
Oh, right hand, he hurt him.
Follow the doctor, you can see in the right eyes.
Time. Doctor, make your assessment,
All right,
please.
Mark Goddard has now called time, giving the ringside physician a chance to make his decision.
This allows Topuria more time.
The doctor is saying no.
Where's this doctor from?
And doctor's gonna call the fight.
Is this doctor from DC?
Ilia, watch it.
He just said something to his brother.
Wow, it's almost like he's trying to not finish. They're not going to let him answer the next round.
Track the referee. They're gonna stop it. Take 10.
No. We finished the fight.
That's the end of the fight, Mr. President.
And that'll do it. That's it. Unbelievable. And new tired on his stool.
Oh, that is the greatest fight yet.
So good, Anna. Love you.
Woo! Beyond anything that anybody's ever seen in sports.
The fight wasn't stopped because of one punch. It ended after the damage had built up over several rounds. Although Ilia Topuria was still landing accurate shots, his reactions and vision were clearly affected. When the cage side doctor stepped in, the focus shifted from fighting to fighter safety. After a brief assessment, it became clear the risks were too great to continue. The stoppage wasn't just the end of the bout. It highlighted the serious physical impact of elite-level competition.
I counted him out against Patty. I thought Patty was going to, come out there and get the job done. He proved me wrong. Thought Ilia was going to get the job done. He proved me wrong. I felt embarrassed to even be sitting by him, counting him out. It was one of the most inspiring fights I've ever seen. His jab looked beautiful. His awkwardness helped him. Ilia did not know what to do. Ilia would still crack him, but Justin didn't even look like he got in a fight. It was so impressive. It was one of the sickest performances of all time.
Some of these small guys, they're delusional. They have false confidence because they're hiding behind a weight class.
Were you surprised that Topuria ended up losing?
Topuria, in my eyes, was the best UFC fighter right now, but Topuria makes the mistake of he trains a little too hard. I knew if Gaethje could withstand the storm, he had unorthodox things that he was doing. Gaethje would dip and then grab that uppercut and hit him with the uppercut.
What surprised many experienced fighters wasn't only the outcome, but how composed Justin Gaethje remained throughout the fight. While others expected pressure to affect his performance, he appeared to grow more focused as the contest went on. His timing became more precise, his defense tightened, and his toughness helped build momentum. Ilia Topuria continued to show flashes of elite skill, but his rhythm gradually faded, and the opportunities he had earlier became harder to find. As the rounds unfolded, the battle became less about technique and more about endurance, which is why many view it as one of the most intense fights in recent memory.
to ask you about, because Ilia Topuria, who's been undefeated now, suffered his first defeat. What does it take to be an undefeated fighter, and seeing how other fighters who have been undefeated, they lose their perfect record at some point?
It's hard. It's hard. It's really a hard thing to do. You know, when you become a UFC champion, you become more famous right away. You get invited to dinner. There's the girls, and there's the money, and there's all these new friends, and there's just so much that gets thrown at you. And if you're not grounded enough, if you don't have a strong enough circle and team, it's easy to just get distracted. You know, I have fallen victim to all the things that a young athlete can, you know, the partying and getting in trouble, all of it. But in my situation, I had a team that always held me to a high standard, you know, and they never allowed me to get discouraged by my downfalls, and they just always encouraged me to just keep moving forward. One of my head coaches, Greg Jackson, he would always tell me, John, potential is the worst thing to waste. You know, when you know you have a talent and you can do something, you owe it to the sport and to greatness to give it your all. And so, I always say making it to the UFC is fairly easy. Staying in the UFC is very hard. Staying the UFC champion is almost.
Jon Jones believes that remaining undefeated in MMA requires far more than exceptional talent. In his view, the greatest challenge begins after becoming champion. Success brings constant attention, greater expectations, and endless distractions. He explains that fame often creates comfort, and over time, comfort can slowly erode the discipline that made a fighter successful. That's why Jones considers a strong team to be one of the most important factors in a champion's career. The right people provide honest feedback and help keep a fighter grounded, especially when confidence starts turning into overconfidence. He believes many careers decline not because opponents become better, but because fighters lose the hunger and mindset that once drove them to improve every day. Once that competitive edge fades, staying on top becomes much more difficult.